What's up, garden friends? Jeff here at Tropical Plant Party. How's everybody doing? Hope you're good. I'm great. It's another lovely fall day here. It is nice and warm. I mean, what I would consider warm, it's like 63, which for almost being December, or it is December by the time this comes out, yeah, 63 is pretty warm. I'll take it. This is some complicated filming here because I'm actually doing like a vlog within a vlog. I'm doing a video that I don't know if it will be out by the time you see this, so maybe none of this matters. I'm not really sure. But in the video I realized that I didn't have my supplies, so I was like, let's go to the nursery. And now I'm double vlogging. Am I allowed to do that? I don't know. I'm going to. We haven't done a ride-along vlog in a minute, so I thought I'd, you know, double it up. So I'm looking for a couple planters, some anti-transparent, and then it's slim pickings for plants. Obviously, the nurseries have stopped ordering things, so I just need a few little things to finish up a planter. Hopefully, they will have something. So I'm gonna hit up Home Depot for a pot, then the nursery for the other miscellaneous fun things. So we'll pick back up when I get to those places. At Home Depot. Ah, man. Nope, not getting. This used to be such a good Home Depot. Seeing that? Really? Shame. Bye-bye, nasty. Yeah, I'm not going on another rant about Home Depot's plants. If you've watched my videos, you know that there have been some struggles getting good plants from my Home Depots lately. But needless to say, I did not get any plants. No way am I bringing anything home from a place that has a mealybug infestation of that magnitude. But what's sad is that this Home Depot I'm at is the good one. I went out of my way to come to this one because it's the one that always has good plants, but I guess that's not the case anymore. Oh well. I managed to get a pot and some dirt, all from the outside department. I have been all over the city today. I'm trying to find, I just need a couple tiny little evergreens for a project I'm doing that's going to be a gift for someone. Oh, hey, slow down. And nobody has anything. I did manage to pick up some nice birchwood sticks, but, you know. But still not quite what I need. I also would really like to find some type of evergreen to plant in the center of... I can't even explain it. You guys don't know what I'm talking about. I'm home. Picked up a magnolia at an amazing price on it. I need to get this area looking pretty again and move that pot over here. I'm going to do some things. Alright, so here's my problem. I have these Silver King unanimous, but I only have 3. And it would look nice if I could put put 2 in each of these pots on the side. But they're too tall to have in front of the hallways. That's going to look weird. Whatever goes in front of those hallways needs to be mounding. But I do have these berry shrubs in the center pot here that has a magnolia in it. Right now I have 4 of them in there. I was going to mound them all the way around like a hedge. I thought that looked pretty, but maybe I'll put 2 in this one and 1 in the front of each one. But I think putting 1 in the front of each one is going to look kind of dumb, so... I don't know. We'll see. And, I mean, kind of. Just sort of toss everything together for now. I was going to do a whole video on setting these things up, but didn't work out time-wise with the sun, so that's... Oh, you're not supposed to be there. Accidentally set this guy over here while I was cleaning out this pump. You need to dry out and go to sleep. Though I'm not sure that's going to happen. It has been unseasonably warm here. In fact, some of my plants think it's spring. This is a Louisia. Here she is. Beautiful plants, but they don't really like the heat. These tend to die back for me in the summer, and this just re-sprouted. So that's happening because it's been so warm. Same thing back here with my Skillia. They like the cool weather though, so not really that much of a surprise that its temperatures have been in the, I don't know, between the 50s and 70s That's doing well. And, yeah, just getting things cleaned up. Gotta keep going. Here we go. So this is terrifying. I'm editing this video. Normally, these little bits where the things are short and they're not yellow is just background noise, static, wind, a dog barking. This is a voice. I was home alone. TVs are off. Listen to this. I'm gonna enhance it so it comes through on the camera. Listen. What is that? What is that? I'll play it again. Want to hear it again? What? What? Who made that noise? It wasn't me. I was right behind the camera. That's kind of terrifying. I'm pretty obsessed with this Zygopetalum. I don't know why. It's nothing new, nothing unique. I've had it for years. It blooms like crazy, but every time it blooms, I'm just always so happy about it. Because it smells amazing. And I really like the purple. That's off topic. Though I don't really know what's on topic, because this week's vlog, as I say every week, all over the place. Though there is a difference between this week and the other weeks, and that is that I've been filming a lot of videos this week because I think I'm going to do Vlogmas. Which, if you don't know, Vlogmas is when people on YouTube do a video every single day up until Christmas or New Year's. Basically, December is just full of videos. Which is fun. It's a challenge. And I like challenges. But it's, you know, a busy time of year. So I wanted to get a head start on things. But so, you know, in these last few clips, you were seeing me outside, and I realized I can't show you anything because it's in all the videos that are coming out next week. So that's going to make vlogging a bit of a challenge. But I'm going to figure something out. I'll get into a flow, get into a rhythm, and I'll figure it out. I also thought about using the weekend vlogs to focus on questions. And one question I've been getting is a fair amount of new subscribers. Hello. Hi, new subscribers. Welcome to my world of chaos and ADD. People have asked what the deal is with this. And, you know, I refer to it as my aquaponics pond or tub sometimes because it essentially is. This is where I keep my water for all my plants during the winter time. I mean, I have layers and layers and layers. There are plants just everywhere. And until I had this out here, it was pretty difficult to keep things watered properly. And I have extremely hard tap water. The pH is around 8.4 to 8.6. Sometimes it's like 8. Which is not good for the orchids. And it's really for pretty much none of my tropical plants are thrilled about a pH that high. So, by having this large tub out here, did you just hear my voice crack? That was fun. So, by having this large tub out here, I'm able to lower my pH and soften my water and treat it accordingly in a large batch. And I'm also able to monitor the amount of water I'm using more efficiently because, you know, I can see the water going up and down. And I get to have my koi, which is awesome. Because I had a pond years ago, but it had to get torn out. So I'm happy to have my fish because I love fish. These are all koi and goldfish, fancy goldfish for the most part. Typically in aquaponics, people use tilapia because they like the hot water. Hot water, I think, you know, 77 to like 80-something degrees, somewhere in there. That's a better temperature for dissolving your nutrients when you're mixing things and nutrient transport. These are koi. So it's rarely up to 77 degrees. It's pretty impossible to heat something this big with an actual water heater. Actually, a water heater would probably be one of the best ways to do it. But there's like aquarium type heaters, the glass tubes or metal tubes and whatnot. It's not energy efficient. I've tried trough heaters. I've tried everything. As far as electric is concerned, it doesn't make sense. So I rely on heating the space up. And generally the space gets up to about 77, sometimes 80 during the day, but I turn half of the heaters off at night to drop the temperature back into the 60s because that's what the plants prefer. I like to give them that day and night shift. It it seems to help a lot with the blooming on things. So tilapia, not ideal here. And also a lot of people who do the tilapia with their aquaponics then eat them. They grow them up and eat them. I don't eat my pets. I can't do that. Sorry. I don't eat meat, period. So that really wouldn't make sense for me. So I just keep my koi in here. They do outgrow this, and every probably other year, the ones that get too big go to my friend who lives out in the country and has a huge pond with other goldfish and koi. And they live out the rest of their life there, and then I just, I buy like probably 6 new small ones every year and keep it going that way. I've just found over the years with all of the orchids I have, this has been the most effective way for me to be able to have a large batch of water where I can control it. I can keep the pH low. The pH is generally between 6.7 and 6.8. Sometimes it gets higher typically it only gets higher if I have to do a massive water change in here. And I try and keep my water changes frequent and small. And by water change, I mean I water my plants with this water, and then it gets topped off. And I usually top it off with RO water. I have an RO-DI system inside, and I bypass the DI part to just use reverse osmosis water. But that's only sometimes. Otherwise, I just use tap in here, and then I make sure it gets the filter for a few days, and then I treat it with an acidic product. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, it's a product by Seachem. It's similar to their neutral regulator, but it goes even lower. Not quite as stable though, so I have to monitor that. And then I just stay on top of testing it. And I test the calcium levels with actually a test kit that's made for saltwater, or I think you can use it on freshwater. I don't know why you couldn't. It's just a calcium test kit for aquariums. That's how I measure to make sure there's still calcium in here. I have, which I've discussed before, some stones in the filter that are supposed to release minerals and make the water nice and bountiful and healthy. I have no way of knowing if it's true, but I do know the tanks that I have, they're called Eco Biostones. The tanks I have used those in are always much less maintenance, and the fish do very well in them. I don't know if that's just a coincidence. I can't say. And then I also have Catappa in here. Catappa helps soften the water. I don't know if I already said this or not. Now, where the thing went I'm looking for, it's probably back in a corner that I can't get to. Catappa leaves, they're large leaves. You just drop them in there. Some people soak them beforehand so that they'll soak faster. I put mine, and I took 2 plant baskets, and then I zip-tied them together, and I had it full of, I think there's about 60 leaves in there, which is an ample amount for something this size. Usually you let them just fall to the ground because the leaf litter is supposed to be good for the fish, which it is, but it's not great for my pumps that run my filters. So I've contained it in these plant baskets. It would be nice if I could find it. I don't know where it went. I mean, it's in here somewhere, just probably back in one of these corners that I can't get to very easily. Oh, and one of the other huge perks, I just realized this because I need to do it right now, is I can mass soak my Vandas. I have this hooked up here. Got a PVC pipe set up with some paracord through it that, well, you can't see because there's palm fronds in the way. But there's a pulley up there on the ceiling that comes all the way down to here. And then I can just use this to lower that down. So I just do that, back over here to there, and I drop it in. But I usually use 2 hands. And then while those are soaking, I turn my circulation fan on to help blow the warm air from the ceiling back down low. I don't leave that fan on for too long when the orchids are pulled up because it dries them out. My humidity's low. I have a plan for that, but there's some things I need to iron out first. So these guys soak, which there are some downsides to this, like, you know, if one of these guys is sick, they're all in direct contact with each other. I have an ultraviolet sterilizer in here, but that's not, it doesn't really help that much. The ultraviolet sterilizer is more for the fish, because, I mean, look at how close these are together. By the time it passes through the sterilizer and gets back, they're right next to each other, so that doesn't matter. So I have to shuffle these an awful lot. And I have many more Vandas hanging up on this side of the garage as well, so I have to rotate, but it's still just so much easier to just soak them than to spray every single day. But I have a new sprayer coming in the mail. And I think that that may help with that. We will see. But overall, this whole system's working out fairly well. I feed the fish. I give them a nice, varied diet, very nutritious. And they eat their food, and then they poop. That waste goes through the filter and in the water, and bacteria breaks it up. Essentially, nitrate gets produced. A clean nitrate. It's not as chemical derived, so I don't have to worry about salts and things like that. It's just nitrate and phosphate. So there's that. And it's a lot more than just that. There's a lot of good stuff in the water. About every month or two, depending on how the water's testing as far as the calcium and trace elements go, I will sometimes add a few cups of marine salt, not Epsom salt, actually marine salt made for marine aquariums, because it is loaded with all types of awesome things to help coral grow. And these are things that also are good for the plants. And the marine salt doesn't remove as easily as the Epsom salts do, so it's a little bit more stable, but I have to keep a very close eye on it, because I don't want a lot of salt in the water, because they don't like salt. The koi and goldfish can have more salt in their water than a lot of freshwater fish, but doesn't necessarily mean that they should. So that's what that's all about as far as maintaining trace elements and things like that, the micros and macros, all that fun stuff. And I use a lot of hydroponic products when I water as well. I don't just soak, I use this from a hose to water all of the plants, and then when I'm going through with the orchids, I fill up a very large bucket and I check it with the TDS meter, and usually I mostly use CalMac Potassium and Silica Blast. Those are my favorites for hydroponic products so far. And I recently started incorporating a product to help encourage mycorrhiza growth. See what kind of difference, if any, that makes. I don't know. With the orchids, that is. With regular tropical plants, it usually does wonders. One of the downsides to this method, though, is I can't use chemicals out here because there's fish in here. So bugs tend to run rampant, and it drives me absolutely insane. Particularly the mealybugs. But I have a few new organic products I'm going to try this year that have decent reviews. We will see. I still have to, I can't get them in the water. I don't care if it's organic. I don't want it near my fish because they're living things and I care about them. It's my responsibility to protect them and take care of them. So none of that's happening here. Even though I have carbon and whatnot in the filters help remove impurities, it's just not a good idea. So basically, almost half of the year, all of my plants, all of my tropicals and orchids are grown organically for the most part. If I have to step in with a harsh chemical, I will. I'm not going to just let them die. But I like this way of doing things because with the potted plants, every year or so, really, you should repot them because they're going to use up all their nutrients in the soil and their potting mix. They're not in the ground. There's not leaves falling. There's not birds pooping on it as much. You don't have all the worms moving around in there to help refresh it. And even though, there are worms in a lot of my pots, it still goes bad after a while. And by using this helps re-enrich the soil with a lot of nutrients and minerals and just makes it overall a lot easier to work with for the plants. But then when, late spring and summer comes around, I get back to using all kinds of fertilizers, anything I have to keep things going properly. But half the year, they're getting flushed with clean, fresh water. There's no chlorine or chloramines or salts, there's a low amount of salts to flush all the junk out from when they're being watered on my drip system with my tap water during the spring and summer. Not my orchids. I don't water those with the drip system, but with everything else. Oh, and I mentioned those catappa leaves earlier. That's why if the water appears to be dirty, it's not. It's just there's a tinge to it because the catappa tinges your water, releases tannins, and it makes your water a little bit more of a tea color, which the fish are fine with. The plants seem fine with it, so it's okay. Fine with it. Everything seems fine. It's fine. Don't worry. It's okay. And with the Nepenthes, that's always kind of my gauge. The Nepenthes seem happy, then I'm pretty sure that the water's just fine. And I test it, so that really does. That's all irrelevant. What am I even talking about? That's totally irrelevant. I mean, not really, because Nepenthes need cleaner water. You know what I mean. Look at this tiny little baby pitcher. I'm always afraid to touch them. Look at how cute and little it is. Oh, there's some other blooms out here. This is Disocactus macrocantha, I believe. Formerly an epiphyllum, I think. It smells amazing. I don't think. This was formerly an epiphyllum. I'm not sure what's going on with the classification, but I know that the name on this has changed. And it smells great. Lots of buds. Heavenly scent. Oh, and got a few more blooms popping up over here too. Schellenberg, this is truncate, I believe. Let's look at those leaves. Yeah, they kind of have that claw on the tip, so I would say that that is a truncate. The Christmas cactus, the petals are usually a little bit longer and thinner, and I would not expect to see a Christmas cactus this full either. So this is probably the truncate. I would expect to see larger spines. I'm actually a little bit confused here, because the truncates usually have longer spines on the sides, but their Christmas cactus have rounder, scalloped lobes. So this isn't a Christmas. It's a truncate. It doesn't matter. It's pretty. Isn't it pretty? Very pretty. Thanksgiving cactus. Full of blooms. Really enjoying life out here. I want to move it into the house, but I'm worried that that change is going to shock it. I don't really know what to do there. What should I do? It'll probably be okay. Especially if I put it in a nice cool window so it's not, like, shocked by heat. Let me know what you think. It's so pretty. I'd like to be able to see it indoors, but I also don't want to shock it and have it drop all of its flowers. And it has a lot of buds left in it still, so I don't know what to do there. Speaking of orchids, which, I mean, we weren't really, we've talked about everything though, so I can say that. Almost fell. Okay. Got some nice spikes popping up on the Aussie dens, which is exciting. You know, something I love about these guys is that they rebloom from the same growth. Just so cool. And they smell fantastic. These are from SVO. I've had them for, I think this is only the second year I've had them. But it's always nice to see them blooming from what I've been doing as opposed to them showing up with buds on them. Because 2 of these showed up with buds last year, so I couldn't really take credit for the blooms. But we'll see how big and strong those blooms are, because they've been through a lot of shock this past month, going from outside to inside. The light has been frustrating because the trees haven't been dropping their leaves like they normally do. Like, within the past few days, they've dropped their leaves, but up until a few days ago, these were covered with... Basically, the light wasn't coming in as strong as it normally does in the wintertime. But they seem alright. They seem happy. But we'll see how nice those blooms look, because they can have really nice long blooms on them. Something tells me they're going to be kind of short and stubby, though. And I actually have this guy sitting over here because I need to clean his leaves. He is very dusty, so I need to do that today. I'll get to that in a little bit. But as far as this video is concerned, I have to wrap it up. Sorry about that. I'm always apologizing in these videos. I'm going to stop doing that. But, you know, it's a mess. Hopefully, I'm going to find a better flow and figure out how to vlog while I'm also filming videos that haven't come out yet. I'm going to work on that next week. And hopefully next week there will be a bunch of videos out. Some of the videos are not tropical plant related. I don't live in the tropics, even though my channel name's Tropical Plant Party. That's because I love tropical plants. But I'm in Zone 6B. 6A, 6B, right on the line. So, not everything I do is tropical plants. So some of the videos are actually going to be some outdoor planters and whatnot. But the majority of the videos coming out in December will be tropical plants. I'm just saying, sometimes I get a little bit of backlash from going, I thought this was a tropical plant channel. I'm like, yeah, it's whatever I want it to be. It's my channel. On that note, I love y'all. Hope y'all are doing well. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. I love talking to y'all. You can follow me on Snapchat, Trop Plant Party, Twitter, Tropical Plant JC, and on Instagram, Tropical Plant Party. I'm on Twitter more than anything else. Also, if you have video suggestions, let me know. I have a list of about 25 or 30 ideas, but I need to film every day of December. Or I need to have a video out every day of December. Except for Sundays, that's family day. But I'm gonna try and go for 5 or 6 days a week. So let me know if you have any suggestions. I love y'all again. And as always, keep on growing, everybody. Bye-bye.